butterfly pose. So as your soles of your feet are together and your knees come out to the side, just try to relax through your inner thigh. So this is the area that we're targeting here. But then also with a forward fold, you'll also find that your back starts to release as well. So for most of the poses today, we're going to hold them for 3 to 5 minutes. So keeping your breath nice and deep, you can imagine counting to 4 for your inhale and 4 for your exhale. Just notice the sensations in your body. So as you've been here now for around 3 minutes, your body is sinking deeper and deeper into the pose. And you might find that the sensations in your body change. So maybe at the start, your back felt a little bit stiff, and then now it's starting to let go a little bit. The sensations have moved to maybe your inner thigh or your hamstrings. We have the lovely sound of rain behind. It's turned into heavy rain now. Okay, so gently start to make your way back up to an upright position. So just nice and gently, remember we've been there for around 5 minutes. So you sink deeper and deeper into the pose. So when you're upright then, you can just give your legs a helping hand. Bring your feet out towards the side of the mat. Just lean back slightly and let's make the windscreen wiper motion with the legs. So just having a little bit of movement in the back and in the inner and outer thighs. Okay, so the next version, I'm going to turn sideways on your mat. I'm just going to start this way so that I can show you if there's anyone struggling to fold forward, I will show you what to do. So turn so that your heels are protected on your mat. And as I say, I'm going to start this way first of all. So open your legs nice and wide. We're going to come to straddle. And then just roll yourself forward a little bit so you're sat on your undercarriage as opposed to your bum. Now, if you find that quite difficult and you're back like this, then you can use your yoga block or roll up your mat and put it under your bum. And that will just, you see how it tilts my pelvis forward and it will help you fold forward. Okay, so obviously if you don't need it, that's fine. So you can inhale and exhale, we'll come down to the center and just come down as far as feels comfortable for you. So if you can't bring your forearms to the ground, then you can use your cushions or your rolled up towel or whatever you have to hand. So I'm just going to move and face you now. So whereas in our dynamic yoga, we point the toes up to the ceiling and we keep the thighs engaged. In yin, we just want to relax. So just relax your feet and try to relax your muscles in your thighs. So obviously, if you can come down to your chest or to your chin, then by all means you can do that. If you can come down to your head, then you can take your hands out to the sides and hold on to your feet. That might be a little bit too much at the start, so we'll just see how you go. Another option would be to stack your arms and rest your head upon your arms. So you'll feel the target area here is the inner thigh. But if you're very tight in the hamstrings, the back of your leg, then you may feel it there quite strong as well. This pose is called straddle or dragonfly. So if you can imagine somebody looking at you from the top, if your arms were out by your feet and your head was down towards the ground, you can imagine that you look like a dragonfly from the top. Okay, so now we're going to just lift halfway. So don't come all the way up, just lift halfway. And then turn towards your right leg. And then you can fold down over the right leg. Now again, remember that you can use your props. So if your fold of your leg doesn't come quite so low, then you can pop your cushion under your chest, and that just gives your upper body some support so that you can relax nicely into the pose. So if we just remember that if we push too hard too soon, then our muscles engage and we don't get the full effect of the high movements. If you find that this pose becomes a little bit too much on the hamstrings, the back of the legs, because you're going to be 3 minutes in each position, that's 9 minutes where your legs are open like this, then you can just bring them a little bit closer in. It will take just a little bit of pressure off the inner thigh and also the hamstrings. Another thing you can do is to place a little towel under your knee so it creates a little bend in the knee. And again, it will take a little bit of pressure off the hamstrings if they are a little bit too uncomfortable. A little bit of discomfort is fine. Remember about finding your edge, but we don't want to be in any pain or where we're fighting against it. So gently inhale as you lift just halfway and then walking the hands round to the left side. You might find that one side is easier than the other. For me, the right leg is much easier than the left side. And it's quite normal to have one side a bit tighter than the other, but this is why we do yoga, to try and balance everything out. So just something on here, if you do experience a little bit of pain on the inside of the knee, then you can just engage your thighs slightly. So if you're finding a little bit of pain on your knee, just tense the leg just a little bit, just a tiny amount, and it might just take that away. If not, then just bring your feet, your legs a little bit closer together. It's something which I've experienced myself, so just that slight engage will take it away. It should be. So just one more minute here. so we're just going to lift halfway, and then we'll walk our hands back around to the center. And then once we're back in the center here, our back is nice and straight, we will bring ourselves back up to seated. Okay, so now is the challenge. You may need to give your legs a little helping hand to come back together. Okay, so again, then just pop your feet onto the mat, hands behind. And again, we'll do the windscreen wiper action just to free off the inside of the hips, inside of the legs, back of the legs. And also into the back, I feel that quite a lot in my back since my fold has become better. So yeah, feel the different sensations. Okay, bring yourself around now onto your hands and your knees. And we're going to come into child's pose just for a minute or so. So you can choose your child's pose. I'm going to just go for regular child's pose to sit my bum down onto my heels and reach my arms forward and just rest my head down. If you wanted to, you could do the wide knee child's pose if that's better for you. And reach your arms forward, resting your head down. Now that I'm here, I might stay here. So just notice if you're pressing your arms into the mat, just try to relax your arms so that we're not pushing anywhere, we're just letting gravity take its turn to bring our bodies into the deepest part of the pose that we can get to. For fear of staying here for the rest of the class because I'm really quite comfortable. Let's come up onto our hands and knees. And just bring the knees in if you're a wide knee and bring yourself down onto your stomachs. Okay, just have your cushion, your pillow, your towel in at close reach. And we're going to come into Sphinx. So elbows underneath the shoulders and just relax your hands. Now you can play around with the positioning of your feet. So you could take your feet a little bit wider and you might find that that goes a little bit deeper into your lower back, or you can just keep your feet straight in line. So just see whatever feels best for you. So just try to make sure in this pose, in Sphinx pose, that we don't end up like this, okay? So don't let your neck sink into your shoulders. So try to keep your chest lifted. And just notice your bum cheeks. Just notice if they are engaged or if they're relaxed. So just try to relax through your bum cheeks. So what's really nice here is to use your cushion or your towel underneath your ribs. So you can put it under your lower rib. And what I find happens here is I feel that there's much less pressure in my shoulders because I'm not having to support my body. So the body is being supported by your cushion under your under your chest, and then so I feel much more free in my shoulders. So I really, really like to use the support in this position. So the back is in hyperextension here, which is not a position that it's or you know in regularly. So you might feel it a little bit in your lower back. It's mainly actually stretching out the front of your body, but the nice hyperextension on your back keeps your spine healthy to hyperextend and to flex. Okay, so now we will take it a little bit further if you want to. So we'll come into seal pose. So turn the hands slightly to the outside, and then you can just extend through your arms. So straightening through your arms. And what you'll notice is that your bum muscles in your bum switch on. So just try to relax your bum cheeks. And again, just try to make sure that your neck doesn't sink into your shoulders. So keep your shoulders back and down. And if this is too much, then by all means, just come back to your forearms. So the different stages of this pose would be that if you wanted to make it more intense for yourself, then you would walk your hands a little bit closer to your body, so the extension on your back is greater. And if that was a little bit too much, then you could take your arms further forwards, and that would just take a little bit of pressure off. So find out exactly what feels good for you. I'm working on my back at the moment with back bends and my hip flexors as well. So I'm going to come into quite a hyperextension. But you will certainly find that the more that you challenge yourself in this pose, your glutes, your bum will engage. So just try to relax the bum. Okay, so we'll gently come down now back onto the forearms. So bring yourself back down onto your forearms. And then just remove your cushion from underneath you. And you can stack your hands one on top of the other. And then just pop your forehead onto your hands just for a couple of moments to just let the back release. Okay, so now bringing your hands to your shoulders and bringing yourself up into the tabletop. Now we're going to take ourselves into a back flexion now with child's pose again. So you can either do the child's pose that you did before, or this time for sure, I'm gonna come into regular child's pose, but I'm gonna put my hands beside me this time. So you can either reach your arms forward or bring them down by your sides and rest your forehead onto the mat. I really like this myself because I find that it gives more pressure to the back of my shoulders so that they can drop down a little bit more. But do whatever feels comfortable for you. Okay, so placing your hands by your shoulders again and then lifting yourself up into your tabletop and then bringing yourself round onto your bum. So I'm going to start off and face you guys here, and then I will go into the lengthwise on my mat. So we're going to come into half shoelaces. So you bring your leg all the way round. So I've done my left leg here. It doesn't matter which leg you do first. So bring your leg round, and we want to try and stack the knees one on top of the other, and so the foot comes around to the bum. Okay, so if your hips are super open, so I know, for example, Julia, you might want to bring your other leg round also into this position here, into shoelaces. It's too much for me, so I'm going to stay in a half shoelace position here. And then when you feel ready, you can start to bring yourself forward. Now, again, if you can't fold forward so far because maybe it's a little bit restricted with your hamstring, you can always pop a towel under the hamstring of the straight leg. And then to rest your head, you could stack your hands or place one hand on top of the other, or use your cushion under your chest. However you feel comfortable. So the target area here is the back of the straight leg and then the hip of the leg that is folded over the top. And just notice the sensations in this pose. So this is a pose that I really notice that the sensations move. So the longer that I'm here, the sensations move from one place to another, like really quite strong. So just notice where the sensations are now, what you're feeling, and then let's check in with the bodies again in a few moments and we'll see if those sensations have moved. so you've been in the position now for 2.5 minutes. So just check in with your body again and just notice if the sensation's still strong in a certain area or if they shifted to somewhere else. I think there's a lot going on here. The back of the leg, the hip, actually both hips. Yeah, so for me, and then back as well, you know, so I feel it in quite a lot of places, this pose. So we're about to come out of this pose. So again, just check in with your body and just notice the sensations where you feel it. And then we'll compare it to the other side when we come to the other side. So then gently, gently start to bring yourself up to an upright position. So just remember, if you did quite you know, like a full forward fold, then your back's involved quite a lot. So nice and gently. And then you can uncross your leg, or uncross both legs if you were doing the full pose, and then windscreen wiper your legs to get some movement into the hips, back of the legs. Okay, so then straighten the legs out in front of us and we'll take the other leg. So I did my left one first, so now this is my right, and I try to stack both of my knees on top of each other. So again, if you did double before, then you could just bend this leg round to here. But if you just did single, then continue like this. Okay, and then once you're ready, you can start to fold yourself forward. So just remembering your options, you could stack your hands, maybe just have a little bit of height with your hands, or if you can reach towards your foot, then do that and just rest your head or your chin onto your knee. So just notice your initial sensations here. So we've been here for 2 minutes now. So again, just check in with your body and just notice if the sensations have shifted to another body part, which is now feeling it more intense, or maybe where you felt it at the start is just feeling a little bit stronger. So this is how we work with the edge. So when I started to where I am now, I can feel that my back has released some more, my back of my leg has released some more. And so I feel heavier on the top of my, leaning onto my top leg. So we're going to start to make our way out of this pose again now. So just before we do, just again, let's check in with the body and just notice if the sensations changed. Do we feel like we've sunk deeper into the pose as our bodies let go? Okay, so nice and gently now, start to bring yourself up to an upright position. Okay, and then we can uncross the leg, and again we'll do the windscreen wiper position or movement, just to get a little bit of movement again in those hips, back, hamstrings. Okay, so let's lie down onto our mat for happy baby. So bring yourself down onto your back and bring your feet up into the air. Okay, so your feet want to be facing the ceiling. So imagine you want to push the ceiling away with a flat foot. Now then bend your legs and hold on to the outside of your feet. So your arms come on the inside of your leg and hold the outside of your foot. And then you can just use your body weight of your arms, the weight of your arms, just to bring the knees down towards your underarm. So just notice if you feel any tense areas in your body. So I often feel that my hip flexors are gripping here, like they're crunched up, you know, they're obviously flexed here, but I feel that sometimes I feel it's difficult for them to relax. So just really focus on any area where you feel any tension or where it's difficult for you to relax, and just send your breath there. Breathe nice and deep. And in your mind, maybe just imagine the muscles that are connected to the area where you're finding is tense. Imagine them nice and warm and melting. And if you visualize this, they're melting away. And then that really helps your body to let go. Okay, so gently now, just releasing the feet and bringing your legs down to the mat. Now you can keep your legs bent and just place your feet onto the mat. And then, okay, let's now straighten the legs so we can get a little bit of a stretch onto the hip flexors that might have felt a little bit like they were crunched up. Okay, now bend your legs again and place them by your sit bones, and then just lift yourself up into a bridge. So this then will really just open up the hip flexors after they were compressed. And then you can place your bum back down onto the ground. Okay, so let's take the arms out to the side now. So the palms face upwards and you're in a T shape. And then lift the hips up off the ground, move them to the left side of your mat, and then let your legs fall to the right. And so knees have fallen to the right, and if it feels okay for your neck, you can look over your left shoulder. If it feels like that you're trying to grip your top leg to keep you rolled over, then simply push your bum further to the back of the mat. Okay, so further towards the left side of the mat. And that will help just bring some more body weight over to the right side, and so you don't feel like that you can't relax. Sometimes I feel, oh, I haven't pushed my bum back far enough, and so my top leg feels like it's gripping me in place. Okay, so from here, straighten the top leg, and if you can, hold it with your right hand. So we just take a little bit more weight over, increasing the rotation just a little. So you can hold your left foot in your right hand, And just continue to look over your left shoulder. And then to bring in the left side of the upper arm and the chest a little bit more, you can slide your arm up your floor. So just slide it upwards. So let's say it was on 9 o'clock before, now it would be on 11 o'clock. So you just slide your arm upwards. And you'll find that that just brings in the left side of the chest a little bit more. And it also will bring in the heart meridian. Okay, so bring the head back to center now and release the left foot, and then roll gently onto your back and bring your arms back to the T shape. And we'll just stay here for a moment so our back can get used to being straight again before we go on to the other side. So from here, you can bring the knees into the chest and just have a little roll around on your spine. Okay, let's take the feet down to the mat again and arms out to the side, your palms facing upwards. This time, lift up your body, take it to the right side of the mat, and then let your legs fall to the left side. So again, you can just have a little play around with the position of your knees and maybe push your bum further back to the right side of the mat if you feel that your top leg is having to work to keep you in place. And then when you're ready, you can look over your right shoulder. So the legs have gone to the left and you're looking over your right shoulder. If that bothers your neck, then obviously just keep looking to the ceiling. Okay, so again, from here, you can straighten your top leg. And so straighten your right leg, and if you can, straighten it so that you can hold it into your left hand. And then if you wish to, take your right arm So just raise it up slightly. Make sure it stays on the ground. Don't raise it up off the ground. So as soon as I said 9 o'clock, the other side, I have to say 3 o'clock. Yes, I guess that's right. 3 o'clock. So from 3 o'clock maybe to 1 o'clock, positioning on the arm. Okay, lovely. Let's bring the head back round to center and bend the legs again. And then you can slide your arm down, bring yourself onto your back nice and gently. And again, let's just wait here for a moment for the back just to get used to coming out of the twist. And then when you feel ready, you can bring the knees into the chest and have a little roll around on your spine to just give a little massage to those areas where you just felt that the most. Okay, so we're going to come into our last pose now, Shavasana. So take your legs down your mat and towards the edge of your mat so that your feet fall naturally out to the side, your palms facing upwards. And then just close your eyes and relax here in your Shavasana for 4 or 5 minutes. So gently now start to have a little bit of movement through your fingers and toes, bringing the awareness back to your body on the mat. And then take a nice inhale and take your arms all the way up over the top of your head. Bring your feet together and have a full body stretch. So reach your arms up and your feet down. And then bend your legs, place your feet by your sit bones. And roll to your left side, using your left arm as a pillow. When you're ready, bring yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. And place your hands in front of your heart center. And we'll finish the class with one arm. So take a nice deep breath in. Oh. Slowly open your eyes.